Hello, Karen. I seem to remember Robert Force has a beautiful question for people in Tell Me Something You Don't Know. Now, if he was to ask me, because I know everything, I can't say that I know everything, but I know everything. Because it's all contained within technology, so that's saying about, you think you're it, well, it's exactly it. A technology is a design, the human body is a design, it's a kind of organic technology. Inside it is informed. For example, on the physical sense, the heart knows exactly what to do, all the organs know exactly how to function, the cells know how to interact, and so on. So it's totally informed. So there's no need to submit any forms, because it's a submission. Clues in the wording. What I could say as an answer is, I can't tell you something, but I can tell you something, and that is, everything comes out backwards. It's all reflections. So of course sometimes one or other polarity can flip. So with the mirror, left goes right, right goes left. So it's the vertical axis that changes, long shadows, short shadows, but the horizontal or linear, the lie that's near the linear, that one will stay the same with the shadow. Where can we go with this? Because we can go so many places. Let's talk in mechanical terms about the physical body. Imagine something that really starts to get under your skin. A hedge trimmer, garden equipment, there's a neighbour that's out there. Let's just examine the process and the potential of where that could go. It's expressed as 12 disciples. This is the character called Judas, who sells out for 30 pieces of silver. Sells out. It's the key part here. Now, this is not advocating hate Jews. This is not advocating pointing the finger. It is a necessary role that somebody had to play at. The world is a stage. In every theatre show you have a villain. They're not bad. Just playing a part. They're chosen to play that way. And now they're the chosen ones, and nobody else is worthy. They're not God's children, as it were. It's just a whole load of nonsense when it's taken that literally. That's the key to it all. So, when something gets under your skin, if you imagine the human body made up of lots of little tiny circles, but then one goes black, it's a cell out, light's extinguished out of it, it's turned acidic. It's from that thought, from the central processing unit, the mind, that there's leaked out what really should have been just contained in the mind and just observed and then questioned. It's like, why is that getting under my skin? Why am I feeling triggered by it? Why am I not in control of it? I'm aware of it, so I now need to address it and control it. Because the consequences of this, that cell that has now turned black, you could see that as the devil. In the story, the devil or the fallen angel has those that are loyal. That one black cell will start infecting the cells around it. The physical body will tell on them and give warning. So it may come out as an ache, it may come out as something more severe, a cut, an infection, cancer. And it can be addressed, it can be turned around. It's just purely changing the perspective of thinking. That's the repentance. There's also such a thing as squaring the circle, or the idea that the Earth is in a cube. Now what's also, there are certain religious groups that wear a black cube, roughly where their third eye should be. Symbolically it is suggesting that black artery, it's contained the most animalistic, negative aspect of oneself. It's under control, it's not going to spill out and let the deepest, darkest psychopath level of that one negative thought from that one cell taking control of the entire physical body, and now you've murdered the person with the hedge trimmers. That's a bit excessive, because you made a judgment that you don't like something. What I would suggest, because it's a world stage, that is a script of the road to self-destruction. That's putting that aspect of oneself into a cube, a contained field. You can't kill it, it's a part of you, it's individual. You're a co-creator. And just like a singular source creator, being an aspect of that creator, you also have aspects of you in multiple forms. So you'll have an extreme negative side as much as you will have an extreme positive side. Now if you are truly the captain of your vessel, you've plotted into the negative or the positive. It will take you off course, of course. Clues are in the language with all these things. And of course, if you look through whatever you would consider to be history, you'll see there are certain figures that stand out in generations for various reasons. That's something called inspiration, inspiration. It's a little bit of the truth as a thought, as an idea given to one individual to help guide. And I could go as far as to say it is I, and when I'm talking about I, I'm not talking about I, the individual, I'm talking about I at the deepest, darkest core that is speaking through this vessel, putting it into man's descriptors, which are words, which are not really seeing something for what it is, but it's woefully and adequately trying to describe things, paint pictures. The creator of everything is the supreme artist. Just like the business world, it delegates to itself, to aspects of itself. Like you would have a corporation with a president, you'd have a vice president, secretaries, and so it filters. And this is what the higher hierarchies are. We are the Elohim. That's the truth of it. Not know that you are gods, you would die as men. You're in the human experience. In the physical realm, everything has a limitation. One of those limitations is things are finite. They're just experiences. But it's important to not cheat. So let's just have a look at the word cheat. It consists of C. Now if we split that off, because this is what we're wanting to do. We want to see. And it's expressed in those 5 letters of cheat. So if you split the C off, so you're standing back and seeing you're left with heat. So by trying to cheat to find your way out of this without doing it, you won't see the heat. You won't realise you're playing with fire. That's not the right type of play. But of course the world is a state, and that type of play would be a tragedy, of course. But it doesn't have to be like that at all. I had to come here to do this again. Take a physical form. It just happens it's this physical form. It's not a question of whether you believe me. It's a question of you find it in you. What I will tell you is It's expressed as there being fiery angels or a fiery angel that guards the gates to heaven. How things are played out in the material. So you get some celebrity, some dignitary, say a president of a nation goes to visit the White House, you'll have the Marines, and they'd bar anybody from entering that they didn't know, and they wouldn't let them pass. This is exactly the same thing. But you can't enter heaven with fear. All you have to do is contain that fear in your very own individual tartar. Feel that devil in that cube. You confine it. In this reality, in the material sense, somebody that does wrong is confined. They are imprisoned in a cell. Again, look at the clues in the words of all of this. So what this really comes down to is total mastery of another aspect of this reality. Picture the yin and yang symbol. How many circles do you see for a start? There's more than 3. But within each half of that, if you're looking at that white half, you'll see there's a black circle. If you're looking at the black half, you'll see there's a white circle. Each duality has a duality to its duality. So therefore, when we talk of karma, there is individual karma, which is actually quite easy to be forgiven and the slate wiped clean. But the key one here is the collective world karma that is created by each individual. It does come from any thoughts. So if you've got a little psychopath that's running riot in your mind, and is now starting to overspill, and is going to lead you as a physical being doing something that is probably not the most preferable path to be taking, shall we say, because this has to be done with no judgment, so I'm not going to say it's right or wrong. Who am I to judge? Well, I can judge. That's the whole point, because I know who I am, and I know that I am speaking through I. No one sees the Father except through the Son, so the Father's talking through the Son at this precise moment. And remember, everything's flipped and it's all reflection, so Mo becomes Om. Om is light, Om is the Sun. Something that was expressed with World War II. There's such a thing as freeze, fight, flight, or fawn. Now, probably the worst of those is fawn. Fawn also means young deer, but in this case it's oh deer. Because on the Eastern Front there was certainly freeze, there was certainly fight, there was certainly flight, and to some degree there was fawn. But what is also being shown in the bigger scheme of things is it's facing instead of going with the sun. That's not to say that the communist side is going with the sun either. That would be a very false sun indeed. But the universe will do more and more clues, and I invite you to put this one to the test. It's probably one of the easiest ones to do. Think of a song, or allow a song to pop into your mind. Now put out a thought to the universe, a wish to hear that song, to see how long it takes before it comes on the radio, or it may, as it were, from the thoughts, and it may be a different song by the same artist. It's pretty near enough for the... What is happening is there's nothing physical except in the end product, which is the recipient from the request. What you put out into the universe will come back tenfold. So if you put out a wish for a piece of music, working through the metaphysical, through the unseen, in what is behind the ether itself, will spark as an idea somebody who works in a radio station, who then gives that idea to whoever schedules the programs, and sure enough a piece of music will come into that program. It doesn't involve anything actually physical, except the agents, the physical bodies in which subconsciously all these things are playing out. That is just the universe. There are things that man could work out about this universe, like predictability of blood type of a child. It would appear to be a random pattern, but there is a calculation that can be done. But the only trouble with that calculation is, if you think pi is infinite, with number of places to the right of the decimal point, well, computations to produce the program to show you where a child of one particular blood comes out, it doesn't seem to have any pattern. It would take every tree, never mind to print the entire world debts in banknotes would mean the destruction of every tree. This would be beyond that, far beyond that. And of course with the same result if you've removed all the trees. You may find yourself in a very compressed state, collectively, to be recommended to be played out. Besides, that would be material wealth, which is not eternal wealth. You can't take banknotes with you beyond this physical reality, the physical body behind. But as in the Elton John song that was made such a big thing of, with the death of Lady Diana, Princess of Wales, 97, live your life like a candle over wind. It's not a physical candle, because if you did it with a physical candle, there may be a gust of wind, but the candle in this sense is totally metaphysical. That is you at your core level. Now there is no fear of a gust of wind, and there's also a certainty beyond any doubt whatsoever that you are an eternal flame. So all these scripts, they just burn if you get too close to the flame. The light's too strong, and you don't have to accept a script which is a path of self-destruction at all. That'll just bring you back here in another vehicle, another human body, but you won't be given the backstory, given advantage over another. You get the slate wiped clean. It's like, here you go, have another go, until you can walk on this path. That's all it takes. Just that inner standing of self, that surety, that total down the middle balance. I know where the next pole's going to be. I know exactly where it is. I know the reality that some will go into. Oh, on a sort of related subject, are there such things as NPCs? Is a question often asked. Like everything else, you can look to the answer in the external. If you think of the human body as being like a shell, and what is the physical body has lent itself to greatly is architecture. Now, do you or do you not get abandoned houses, which, depending on their state of dereliction, you could say are empty shells? So, are there such things as NPCs? Well, are there such things as abandoned houses? I think you have the answer in that. So, that's 20 minutes I've spoken for you. It's big in this present moment, so I will say love to all. Hopefully that sparked and inspired